players. You can see, right, Road to Max Res as at the pre-local, these two got, or I guess not the pre-local, but the monthly last week, like just about placed 33rd. OWD, only their third bracket entered, is
That's
on
insane.
1-4 versus 8 and 13. Those don't sound super different, but you can see OWD outplacing in Karma at one
Max
event
Red,
they both entered. However, Karma, OWD, not from here. I don't know if you may have noticed.
I did see it's from Japan.
Yeah, I was gonna say
okay.
it may be a new start GG as well. Something to keep those things different. 129 though, you know, something to note, right? 129th in the Japanese bracket out of 192 means you went about 1 and 2. So there are some, you know, we aren't sure quite, right, what we're gonna see here.
I think I might have been seeded. I am competing in this event later on. I might have been seeded into OWD earlier, and I remember trying to see through the StartGG account to see like what the Twitter was. I think I saw Incineroar, but obviously players have not picked their characters yet. But I think that was just what it was on the Twitter banner. But we'll just have to see in just a moment.
Yeah, and on the flip side, right, Karma, you know, a local to New York, we've got Incineroar versus Pokemon Trainer. Who is going to be the very best? Like no one ever was. I'm going to be real. No,
this is my domain.
This is your domain. Because for those of you at home who don't know Gerd, not only is he a TO, a caster, and a production person here in Smash, he also is one of the leaders over in New England VGC.
Incineroar is broken. Maybe not so much in this game, but we've seen what this character can do in local regions in New York, in Tri-State, and in Massachusetts, and in New England.
Gerd, I'm going to say it. Whether it's Pokemon or Smash Bros. In doubles, Incineroar is the way to go.
Yeah.
Right, we know that here, but this isn't doubles. It might be on Pokemon Stadium, but you're here in that 3 versus 1 Pokemon Trainer. So many different traits. And while the type matchup might be in Squirtle's favor, I mean, here in Smash Bros. That doesn't come into play. Early on, though, it's certainly looking that way. But it's going to be a nair into the Alolan Whip to find the pressure. All the stage control in the world. Even this one right back up for a moment. But you have to maximize your recovery. Find your way back. Overcommitting your resources. No jump here is going to finally get back. But the hit, the mistech, the delay, I like these ideas, but it feels like Karma is just making decisions early on a little bit faster.
Yeah, let's see what happens. OWD has not been able to just touch the center stage to try to push on some damage. Karma's just been putting so much on. We do see the Revenge now slightly activated off a tiny hit. So even on 58%, this character can kill. You see a side special, you see the Alolan Whip, it might just honestly get the stock here.
I was going to say one Alolan Whip, you miss it, go back the other way, try and hold that space all the same, but going for the up air, the Revenge tries to find it up top, 141, double Revenge stack, gets it a third time, that's 100% off the... 50% alone off that Darkest Lariat, that double Revenge stack, absolutely absurd. Ivysaur back throw though, it's still a kill though, you get wrapped in those vines, there's nowhere to go.
It's very similar to Palutena Z, and it's a very strong move. We just see another Revenge in. We do see the backer going to be used, 130%. Ivysaur a little bit heavier than the Squirtle, might live a little bit longer, but when you're fighting down an Incineroar, this percentage does not matter. You just might end up dying.
Yeah, I mean, listen, right now it's just all about that controlling space. The trouble here is how does Incineroar get in? He's so slow. The answer is find your opportunities, trap those landings with the Alolan Whip. The early jump from Karma means that all of a sudden she's going to get locked back down out at ledge and called out from the corner, and all of a sudden OWD right back in this one.
And it's going to be interesting to see right here. Obviously, the type matchup does go in favor of the Squirtle, but in Smash Bros, Squirtle does a lot of damage and a lot of combos into the Incineroar, but it's just being able to avoid these hits. Watch out, you did see another Alolan Whip. Doesn't get the perfect 4-frame input to get the Alolan Whip with a strong attack, so it just goes for the up. But right now, Squirtle just trying to put on the pressure.
Yeah, I like that air dodge, just right, trying to call it out not once but twice. Maybe the second one was a little bit telegraphed, but just not Karma not able to find it. She's had so many good moments, but just hasn't been able to close out some of these situations. Finding another one there with these Vinyl Whip callers, but again, the spacing is just slightly off. And when you whiff a grab, Incineroar capitalizes. Could have sent you across stage instead trying to send you to the heavens. Even on PS2's Low Blast Zone, though, it's not going to kill quite that early.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Oh, it looked like Karma was trying to go for a back throw. It doesn't work out. Down throw into the forward air. Not going to be able to get the connection. 114% is going to be a kill range for Ivysaur right now. But now reverses have changed. We're going back to neutral. Let's see. Oh, it looked like Revenge was trying to come out, but just misses it.
Yeah, now the back throw is going to do an up throw as well. Oh, it doesn't matter. At that percent, in that position, you get for any throw you want pretty much to close it out. Now, though, Charizard's going to be here to close this off. Pretty much any button he hits, it's stronger than a weak breeze, is going to close it out here, though, on PS2 so incredibly wide. You're going to need one more chance, but that flamethrower, just the slight dink of a hit, just strong enough.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw OWD's player cam, but he definitely recognized that, like, I got hit by the flamethrower, and I unfortunately had to lose my stock due to a pineapple on PS2. So you understand that you're going to this last stock. You're still making it very competitive, despite losing some of the interactions with the Squirtle, you're keeping it even stocks.
Yeah, and Karma is starting to cook. I mean, this Squirtle has not had many combos, but here in the last moment, putting you in the blender at Lenge, she has been so efficient here, racking up this percent, 64 already. But you have to be careful because one Alolan Whip in the corner, that's why she backed off, right? One Alolan Whip in this corner now is death on Squirtle, the 4th lightest character in the cast. Get to Ivysaur, get some extra weight and range to just slow this game down. You don't have a lot of space to work with, and you need to find a way to close this out. But even still, you almost are in the situation where you might just want to switch to Charizard.
Yeah, I might have to agree with you there, especially if you take another hit, but you do have the revenge, so even if you do switch to Charizard, it's not going to work out. Let's see, Karma's now in a better position, trying to go for anything. A grab's going to mess around. This time around, just going to go for a backdoor. I like getting yourself into the situation where you're going to be trapping Incineroar at the ledge, but no, it looks like Incineroar with a falling forward air is going to reset the neutral back to center stage.
Yeah, I really like that, though, because you commit, you swing for it all, but you get hit. Okay, it just pops them off. Don't worry, going off the top here on PS2, again, so wide that even that Alolan Whip won't do it just yet. Swings for the fences, but a swing and a miss. Strike number 1 here on OWD. Gonna try and find the ledge trap after the fact. Call out the neutral, get it with the forward air, and those 2 feet, the drop kick to the blast zone. And Karma came so close. She did such a good job racking on the damage, but OWD did what Incineroar does best. Get hit around the stage like a ping pong ball, and then get just enough reads you need to win at the end of the day.
Yeah, we got to talk about this small situation right here. We got Incineroar retreating back to the right, but obviously trying to be able to hold the center stage on the platform.
And want to point out here, right, already out of the initial dash once, dash shield twice. Ice dash shield is what baits that get up, and then the fade back. Charizard so big on a smaller character. If this was Squirtle, you would actually be able to get up and shield before that forward air connect. But since Charizard is so tall, his head lines up with that platform height, that fade back gets to just come out like nobody's business.
Mm-hmm. Okay, game 2. We're going to be switching up the stage now. Karma's going to be opting to go to small battlefield, going to be saying the same characters. Squirtle obviously going to be starting out.
And Gerd, if you're Karma here, what you are trying to do is one thing only. It is smother Incineroar with this Squirtle at early percent. Because by giving Incineroar less space to work with, it's harder for him to get away. But he's also really slow, so it's much easier for him to close that space on you, find the advantage states, gets that Surf already racking up the damage 60% here. But you're scared because one Alolan Whip, even at this low percent, can spell disaster.
Yeah, and you don't want to go for these damage trades. Obviously, 24% to 69 is a very good lead for you. Go for the up throw, not a back throw, trying to force Incineroar off the ledge. Watch out for the shield break. Oh, but the shield poke is actually going to be working on the 4th hit of the Darkest Lariat.
It tries to find the drag down there, and there it is, the shield break. This doesn't have revenge. Fully charged out smash, though, might just do it, especially on that Squirtle. It's going to not be close. And Gerd, that's what we're talking about. The one mistake, especially on the smaller stage, the margin for error is so much thinner against Incineroar.
Yeah, with Squirtle, you got hit by the sweet spot part of the forward smash, so you're just going to get obliterated right there, even with the small amount of rage. Let's see what Karma's able to do, just constantly pushing OWD off this platform, baiting the Alolan Whip in, but decides to go send OWD to the right side of the platform here.
And these reaction ledge traps are not perfect, but they're really good. Unfortunately, they're just all grabs. There's no real combos. There's no real damage upside. It's just reset the situation, and that rinse repeat. OWD is eventually finding a chink in the armor, finds a stock, you miss a tech too, and you cannot make those flubs. It's been the small mistakes from Karma building up, and perhaps even a little bit of karma as OWD is starting to run away with this game too.
We had not seen OWD go for a drop zone nair, so Karma might not have been ready to go for the tech, and we're going to see Karma just staying with the Charizard, understanding that you need to be able to have this kill power, but you do not want to take any more damage than you already are. 44% already online, and OWD is taking this lead even further.
Listen, Gerd, at this point, when are we going to see the Flare Blitz? Because I feel like she just needs something. She needs to find a way with Leaf in the background, cheering on her Pokemon to find a stock. Flare Blitz needed. As much as the fans at home might want to see it, it's going to be the forward air at the end of the day. Switching back to Squirtle is terrifying because, again, that Alolan Whip in the corner could just spell the game right now.
Unfortunately, Karma was trying to go for a down throw into an up air. It doesn't really work at the lower percent. Maybe a down air might have worked out that time around, but we do see the early combos. 33% is already racking up. You haven't taken too much damage on this last stock, especially as Squirtle, but you got to play perfectly if you want to bring this back to a game 3.
I like the dash attack and the up air, but unfortunately just like not fully committing to some of these longer strings, some of these DI chases, and so he's just letting those situations get reset, and that's really been Karma's weakness this whole time. She keeps just resetting situations where she has more guaranteed damage, she has more positional advantage, she can eke out of it, and she's not really prioritizing those things quite enough. OWD is capitalizing, and from center stage, right, 50%, 97, that almost killed. You have to be terrified, you can't play Squirtle anymore. And now, I mean, you're just trying to, again, slow down the pace of the game, get them to ledge, go for a down air here. Instead, the call out, and finally something connects. It's going to give you the chance you needed.
Karma was able to read the high up special from the Incineroar, getting the sweet spot part of the Vine Whip, getting the KO, and now is starting to take the lead. We could be seeing a lap. Tries to go for another Vine Whip, just misses out that time around. OWD getting center stage back again. You're 112%. We could be seeing a Charizard switch, but decides to just stay with the Ivysaur just for now.
And Gerd, her reads have been immaculate, right? She has called these things out time and time again. No, the drop is going to do it. Not going to do it. Sending you off the top, going to the side, whatever. But instead, the juggle at the end of the day closes it out all the same. OWD looking so dominant for most of that at game 2, but barely eked it by after Karma just came online at the end. Her reads, honestly, throughout the whole set were so good. And we saw in game 1, especially, right, she just kept missing those Vine Whips slightly, missing the buttons ever so slightly by the slimmest of margins. But she got 1, she got 2, and that was all she needed. This drop very nearly lets you back into the game, but unfortunately the early swip already burned the double jump. You have no resources left to expend, and that's an easy jump.